Hey, lovely people, how you doing? The fact that you married within the will of God for your life does not mean that your marriage will be effortless, does not mean that there will be no conflicts, there will be no trials, there will be no tribulations, there will be no hot weather sometimes. Does not mean that there will be no times of disagreement. What this simply prepares you for is a good foundation to build on. So, marrying within the will of God for your life is just simply the foundation. You still have to build on that foundation. Because I've found out a lot of people feel that because they married God's will for their life, everything should be smooth, everything should be, hunky dovey every time. They should be happy, whatever the weather, everything should be smooth. Prayers should be answered easily. There should be no strife. There should be no disagreements. Look, marrying within the will of God for your life just gives you a good foundation on which you need to build. And so it is as important as the work you still need to do. You still need to put in the work of love. You still need to put in the work of attention, of affection, of, sincerity, of truths, of everything that you're supposed to do, whether in or out of God's will. Because there are people who marry outside of God's will and somehow still found themselves, and God, by his mercy, is still able to rescue them. But the most beautiful one, of course, is marrying God's will for your life. When you do that, it sets you up on the right foundation. Do you still have to do the work? Of course, you do have to do the work. You still have to put in as much work, even more, because now that you have married within the will of God for your life, the enemy is even after you more, because he knows that God has an agenda for your home, which is just beyond the both of you just smiling, making love, having babies is way beyond that. God has a divine agenda for you. So he will come on you, he will come in different ways. So you even have double the work to do. So please don't think because you married the will of God for your life, everything will be rosy. Yes, of course, you should not be tormenting one another, but you should have a good foundation to start on and put in as much work. So do the work you need to do. Pray, love each other, give attention, be supportive, be affectionate, be human, be a kind person. You still have to put in the work. So don't look at your spouse and think, oh, I didn't marry right, just because you have some tribulations now, just because you have some trials, just because you disagreed. That's not enough reason to say that your marriage is not the will of God. It is the will of God, but you still need to do as much work. So please don't be discouraged. Don't think it's all over. Hang in there. Let God be your strength and let Him give you the grace for the journey that is ahead of you. God bless you. Stay in that will of God for your life. You will make it in Jesus' name. Have a fantastic day. Bye for now.